All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, we're going to talk about one of the greatest welterweights in the world, Keith one-time Thurman, and what Floyd Mayweather Jr.'s team had to say about him, and what he can do to Errol Spence Jr., and what will probably happen in the fight. Let's talk about that in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, we are going to be talking about one of my favorite fighters, two of my favorite fighters, and the third one of my favorite fighters, at least his camp, and that is Keith one-time Thurman, who had a former member of Floyd Mayweather Jr.'s team, Nate Jones, say that he has the ability to beat Errol Spence Jr. and how he would do it at the same time, though, not predicting that he's going to do it. But before I get into that, let me welcome you back to the channel. If you're a longtime subscriber and supporter, thank you so much for your support. We just got the channel. I'm going to say this on the videos that I do today. Just got the channel over 100,000 subscribers. So had an absolutely terrific last couple years. Thank you so much for your support. Specifically want to say thank you to John Bowie. I want to say thank you to my guy. I haven't seen him in a long time, but Ty Legacy, people who have really been Subjugated Truth, guys like that who have really been around and supporting the channel for the entire time. So thank you guys so much for your support. And thank you to everybody that supports in the live streams that we do every day, in the super chats and then cash apps. That's how the channel is able to continue to go and grow, as well as people that support in the super thanks with a little heart and a dollar sign on videos like this. It is what allows the channel to grow and help us keep pushing to try to get to 200,000 or whatever happens from here forward. But thank you. And if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button, because we do really have a lot of great content that we put out here. In the live streams, we pretty much talk about everything in boxing. And then in these videos, we have special topics that we do, for conversations for people that can't make it to the live stream, but kind of cover, single topics in videos like this. So in this particular instance, gonna piggyback off of some big drama that took place earlier this week, where Nate Jones, who is a former cornerman for the great Floyd Mayweather Jr., formerly known as TBE, Money Mayweather, all that good old stuff, Pretty Boy Floyd. Incredible fighter that we all should know. If you're on this channel, you know who Floyd Mayweather is. Nate Jones was in his corner as a trainer. You often see him in the ring holding gloves, holding mitts with Floyd. Usually he's the one that has the mitts, but also is a big guy. Has that vest, has that chest guard on where he's hitting and going to the body. That's who you usually see with Nate Jones. So he did he has a channel. Shout out to his channel, Nate Jones. Go look him up on YouTube. Subscribe to the channel, where he talked about what happened with the Errol Spence and Floyd Mayweather Jr. sparring, gave his side of it. And in going through that video, looked at some other things that he said, and he talked about Keith Thurman and Errol Spence, right? Now, first things first, he says that he thinks Errol Spence Jr. is going to stop Keith Thurman, and says, I really think that, the way as that fight goes on, Errol's going to take him to the back of the woodshed and get him behind, whoop him behind the woodshed. So don't get it twisted. Nate Jones is picking Errol Spence Jr. to win that fight. But he said two things in that particular interview, or in that excerpt on his channel, that I thought was interesting. One is he said that he did not believe that Keith Thurman was an elite level fighter. He believed that, Errol Spence Jr. is an elite level fighter. In order to beat Errol, you have to be an elite level fighter. He said he believes Terrence Crawford is an elite level fighter, but anybody below that elite level, you're not going to be able to beat Errol. But then he talked about Keith Thurman and what Keith Thurman did have. Then he said, look, Keith Thurman has devastating power. And there is an opportunity for him to knock out Errol Spence Jr. with that power. And you know how boxing goes, man. Anybody that has a lot of power, especially guys that have one punch power, you know full well that those guys are very, very dangerous to deal with in the ring. And that is something that not just Nate Jones says, but that's something I think we've witnessed, pretty much all the way through Keith Thurman's career. Now, there's a lot of people that do not believe anything that comes out of Keith Thurman's mouth. I am not that dude. I think that Keith Thurman pretty much tells the truth. Like, for example, when he wasn't going to fight Errol Spence Jr., he wasn't shy about it. He didn't beat around the bush about it too much. It was clear that he wasn't going to do it. He didn't jump into conversations and have negotiations or try to make it look like Errol didn't want to fight him. No, he was like, whatever he said during that period of time, can't remember all the specifics. I'm getting old, and some of those things kind of leave with time, but I remember them enough generality to know that you can go back and it was always evident that what he was not going to do with Errol Spence Jr., right? Not saying that he didn't, that why that was or wasn't, but at least he told the truth about that. Now, so when he says that his power, then, that he really didn't have the power that he had for a while because his hands were injured, right? So, he basically injured his left hand, so he's able to hit you with a jab, and he can hit you with a right hand, but he really couldn't follow up heavy with a left hook. And he was waiting to get enough confidence in both of his left hand to really be able to let it go and not feel like he was going to break it or re-injure it in a fight. And that was one of the reasons why he wasn't really able to stop really being able to get guys out of there with one shot, right? I don't see any reason not to believe him, man. Injuries definitely happen. Errol Spence Jr. said that, and he said this before he got back from the car accident. He was like, look, I'm blowing up in weight. I'm eating a lot of food. I'm eating and I'm not being disciplined in my training. Once I had these long time periods off, I'm going to get back to staying in shape the entire time, or being close to fighting shape the entire time, and not letting myself go too far so that, when the fight comes around, I don't have to lose weight and drain myself and do all that, which is, drains my energy. And then you see him after he comes back off that car accident against Danny Garcia. He said he was like 80%, whatever, so 80%. And then when he got up to 90%, where he really felt like he was, getting close to what his physical peak was, you saw what he did with Yordenis Ugas from a physical aspect, and it looked completely different than he did, say, when he fought either Mikey Garcia or Sean Porter. So, I would extend that same, the likelihood that he's telling the truth to Keith Thurman, right? And if Keith Thurman really is, gets himself to where he can really land shots, big shots with either hand, he has a potential of hurting Errol Spence Jr., right? Now, this is also coming from somebody like Nate Jones, who said, specifically Nate Jones, that said Errol almost got knocked out by Floyd Mayweather Jr., right? And that isn't a fight with padded, with 16-ounce gloves and headgear. Not sure, but Errol says that's cap. And honestly, I can't believe I'm saying the word cap so comfortably. And honestly, that does sound a little bit to me like it's somebody in his camp really pushing on it. But it is what it is, man. It could happen. But more importantly than that, I believe this is a fight that is actually going to take place between Errol and Keith Thurman because the WBC mandated it, and it could be happening as early as April. So, 4 months, what is that? 4 months away from now. Hey, man, or 3 months from now. Yeah, 3 months. That's February, April, February and March and April. Yeah. So that's 3 months away, 12 weeks away. If this is true, that announcement, they're going to do it. That means that announcement is going to come pretty quick about when they're doing it. I think they need to do it at least 8 weeks out, but we'll see. And, hopefully it'll be an enjoyable fight and a fight that people, because it's a fight that, at least for me, I've wanted to see a long time. And I know there's people still want to see the fight with the WBO champion, but, I ain't that hopeful. Anyway, that's my take on the matter. You let me know what you think in the comment section. And with that, I'm out. Deuces.